Hey folks, it's your bud, AVT Pro. What's going on? It's me. I want to do a little vlog. I wasn't going to talk about it because I just wasn't going to talk about it. And I didn't feel it was important. And I don't know, I should say that, take that back. I just wasn't going to talk about it. And I think most of the things I don't plan on talking about. But something moves me. I say I gotta talk about it. But I want to talk about this thing with Eddie Long, Bishop Eddie Long, and I just heard that that he has some kind of media fast where his congregation are not allowed or are discouraged from actually listening to the media or anything relative to the situation of court cases or anything like that. And so I guess the point of that would be is not that they would not be swayed into leaving his congregation or losing support or drawing questions or leaving, as I heard, like Beatrice King, Dr. Martin Luther King's daughter is leaving his church, and so that's news. And so I was, excuse me, I got an allergy, but I was thinking about this. I got into a conversation about homosexuality. Oh, on one of my last vlogs, and I think it was I don't know, Norma Neff in here, Neff. So she knows who I'm talking about, but I really believe, like, usually if you ever watch the story like Cheaters, you know what'll happen on this. Or I was actually watching and I hardly ever turn on, but I'm trying to relax and just get my mind off of things. And I turned on television and I saw, I don't know, it was single Atlanta Housewives or Basketball Wives or something. And these chicks, beautiful chicks, they fight, right? And so they're fighting because of different things and different situations and some sexual situations. I turned on another chick, mob wives. And so you have some mob wives and they fighting because of sexual situations. And generally, whenever you have sexual situations, it does cause fights, you know. And one of the things about marriage is that it alleviates a lot of fights. When you say, this person belongs to me, then basically it was like to keep people from fighting in case somebody said, no, I want her. Then when you say, no, I got legal proof and an agreement that this person is with me and decided to be with me. And so that is to avoid fights, because I've actually heard somewhere that a loose woman in a town can tear the town down. You know, a loose woman with a lot of men claiming ownership or wanting her is going to beef and fight over her. And so I think in a lot of cases, sexual sins cause fights. Now, I'm not saying or judging or sending anybody to hell. I'm just talking about the situation. You know, sexual sins cause fights. And there's a number, every sexual sin will generally cause a fight. Adultery. If you adulterate with another man's woman, it'll generally cause a fight. Somebody could get killed. Okay, it could be a very dangerous, and it often happens. Or even if a woman sleeps with somebody and get pregnant by them, that woman might get killed and her unborn child. You know, so generally these sexual situations cause fight. If you're not married and you have sex with somebody's daughter, their daddy will want to kill you. Or if you get into a beef, it'll be a fight. Matter of fact, I was at the store the other day. I saw a partner of mine I haven't seen in years, I grew up with, and his daughter, you know, she's grown looking to me. I said, oh, that's your daughter? He said, yeah, that's my little daughter. I'm like, dude, you know, like I thought he was my friend. He's like, you know, but of course, you know, she didn't look grown. She didn't look like no little daughter, but you know, if you fornicate with her, and especially an older man, I will more than likely get my ass kicked, plain and simply, by my friend. So, you know, it'll cause fights. And the other sexual sin, so there's adultery, the Bible mentions adultery, fornication, and homosexuality. So in the more cases, I've been out many times, been up to a club in different situations, and all of a sudden I feel somebody grinding on my back, and I turn around and it's a man, and I'm like, yo, dude, get off of me, get off of me, don't. And then if the dude comes back at you again after you done told her to get off, then that's how, gay bashing. There's two forms of gay bashing that can occur, and one is wrong and one is all right. If you put your hands on me and I told you not to touch me, and I don't care how much you think you can't help yourself, you gonna get your butt beat. So there's another case, a situation where homosexuality will cause fight, another sexual sin that can wind up with fight. Now, I advise anybody who is gonna go to any man is gonna let his son go to Eddie Long's church, that they go and get some karate classes for their kid so they can beef up a little bit, because Eddie Long, he ain't no little mug. So if you're gonna go to his church and he got 4 young boys or 4 young men talking about that he molested them, they obviously couldn't fight, right? Because I couldn't imagine. Or they persuaded him with money, other trips to Africa and stuff like that. I guess, everything has its price, so cars that they gave him and stuff gave them and things like that. And so they forked over their manhood for that. But if you plan on keeping your manhood, Eddie Long ain't no little cat, right? And he works out. So you gonna have to be like, get off me, Eddie. Come on, man. Come on, preacher, get off. You're gonna have to beef up a little bit if you're gonna want to deal with Eddie in his church. So go to church. Don't read the media. Be oblivious of it. But make sure before you go to Eddie Long's church that you do some curls. That you get it. In case you have to get off me, Eddie. Come on, man. He gonna be like, wow, Lord told me to tap that. I'm sorry, I can't help but to joke. But really, my biggest problem with the situation is that there's a lot of preachers. There's Jimmy Swaggart. He got hoes. There was this other Tammy Faye, or what is that? The Tammy Faye's husband, who's still on TV. They forgiving people. He had the money thing. They were doing all kind of things and situations like that. And why not? Homosexuals, sin is sin. So as far as I'm concerned, I don't judge you for that. If you want to be a homosexual, I think that you're supposed that there's some litigations that you're supposed to be a role model to be in the pulpit. You're supposed to be without reproach. So that, I think, is a requirement. But I say, hey, forgive and all that other stuff. But just, just be ready in case you get in the back rows, But my point is that when he settled out of court, and when you don't admit, so the fact is that he don't have to admit, and that's what I have a problem with. When you say you sorry, and I think that is like, that's the main thing, is if you don't admit, you're gonna do it again. So that's the big thing. When you don't say you're sorry, okay, yeah, I said I got a thing for boys and stuff like that, and I had sex with them, and I spent church money on taking an afro and seducing them and stuff like that, and they didn't even give up a fight, and they settled in court, they wanted all 4 of them, so you know, so, and again, that's the difference between Michael Jackson and that situation. It wasn't nobody who could really say that there was a situation. Nobody said that. You know, it was other people accusing him, like their daddies and stuff that was taking their kids over there. So when you don't admit your sin is what I have a problem with. You know, if you did it, then fine. You know, you know, but when you, like in my thing with Judas, you know, when you don't admit, when you don't actually say that you sinned, you know, and then ask for forgiveness. And that's the thing about homosexuality, is that they don't think it's wrong. So even though the Bible lines it up with anything else you can get your butt beat for, but if you don't say that it's wrong, then you'll just do it again, or you're saying that God is wrong, and that's obviously not the truth. You know, we know what is life, the way, the truth, and life. There's no life in homosexuality. You know, it's just a sexual act. You know. So you know, I'll work out a little bit. You know, before I go down. God bless you all. Love you all.